I was born to rule the Seven Kingdoms, and I will.
Okay, so we got a little bit of this conflict between the advisors on how Dany should actually approach this invasion of Westeros. Should she come in with fire and blood and invasion and just take out the place and rule with fear? Or should she try to win the trust of the people and bring legitimacy to her invasion and her throne? So clearly here we know that they're going to continue on this theme a lot into episode 3. And we're probably going to see this conflict within Dany for the rest of the season. As I've said in the past, she's got like pretty much every chip on the board at the moment. And she's still managing to take heavy losses. She's definitely going to have to reevaluate the way she's approaching this. But luckily, this preview seems to be showing us quite a lot of what she's going to do about it in the next episode. So let's get into that.
The war's already begun. I've drawn first blood.
So right away, a lot of the things we predicted was going to happen are falling into place. Dany's immediately having hard-hitting blows onto Dany straight away, and she's really driving it home. She's nationalizing the country like people like Randyll Tarly and other lords to make it so it seems like Dany is this mad queen that has a Dothraki army, and it seems to be working really well not only just on the lords, but on the small folk as well. Half this war for Dany will be a perception game and to try and switch over the noble and prestigious lords from Cersei's side to her own, especially if she wants this to be a bloodless invasion. We also see that Euron is returning back to King's Landing with his gift. Now Ilaria and the Sand Snakes is definitely something Cersei wants to get her hands on, and I feel like they're gonna die painfully. Now Yara is more of his personal prize, rather than something Cersei would be worried about, so I'm not sure why he's bringing her to the capital. Maybe so he can put her on trial and kill her justly and not be kinslaying in the eyes of the lords. But if he wanted to kill her without the blame going on to him, he could have just made a mishap happen in the battle where one of his soldiers killed her, but you never know. But the most important thing that's going to come out of this entire exchange is the promise that Cersei made. With this gift and what he's doing, will she actually marry Euron? I don't think she wants to marry Euron at all, and she's in a position where she can turn down everything and anything because she doesn't care about those things anymore. She only cares about her personal gratification, her personal power. So I imagine while Jaime is out doing things in the war, Euron will be continuing to corrupt Cersei and bring her to his side and doing horrific things to the people he's captured. So prepare for a very gritty episode coming up.
Cersei will be ready. They know we're coming.
So it seems we could actually be getting one or two big battles next episode. Now we've seen a lot of foreshadowing for a Casterly Rock battle scene. We know it's a target for Daenerys. We also know that Tyrion was put in charge of all the drains and sewers in Casterly Rock. So it's very likely that the Unsullied are going to send a small group of people, like here with Grey Worm and stuff, to insect the castle, which is exactly the kind of tactic that Dany has already used in Yunkai. They'll sneak through the sewers and pipes, fight their way to the gate, open it up, and let the floodgates come through. This is probably why there's dead bodies on the ground before the Unsullied actually come through the gate, which is one thing that a lot of people were kind of criticizing before when they saw other trailers and stuff. But the more interesting things we get in this preview are the shots with the Randyll Tarly archers and Jaime Lannister. The question is he actually going to be part of this fight? Will he be defending Casterly Rock when it's taken? Or are there two battles going on? One in possibly Highgarden here, and another one in Casterly Rock with Daenerys taking it. I definitely feel like Daenerys can't have another win yet without another loss. Dan and Dave have been trying very hard to paint a very clear picture. War does not benefit any side. If anyone wins in war, they also have to lose somewhere else. A victory comes with tragedy. Now, one other thing here that was super important was this tiny snippet here of that scene we saw of Sansa in one of the other trailers already, walking away looking very shocked. Now I believe that next episode, Littlefinger will die. I predicted that he would die at some point this season, but I feel like it's going to be next episode. We've had foreshadowing in episode 1, we've had a lot of foreshadowing in this current episode we just got, with Jon fighting with Littlefinger, saying he'll kill him if he touches Sansa. We're seeing Sansa get more and more cold to him and understanding what he's doing. She feels safe and protected here. And we also know that Arya's heading to Winterfell, Bran's heading to Winterfell, and I don't see any of the other Starks arriving before Littlefinger's death. So I'm calling it now. I think he's going to die next episode. And yes, of course, Jon and Dany are gonna meet up. Now I'm not sure if we're actually gonna see them talk, or he'll arrive right at the end of the episode, or we'll see them like make out details and stuff, but I definitely feel like they won't make much ground until at least next episode or the episode after that. Especially because I believe that Jon will actually try to make a peace with Cersei, and this will surprise everyone. Jon hates Cersei, but he understands that the dead are the biggest problem. The death of his father, his brother, his family, everything that has happened is not worth losing to the dead. So I cannot wait for them to just talk through everything, trying to convince people who have never been remotely close to the wall apart from Tyrion, not only to not fight Cersei, but that there's an undead army coming for the wall and they should focus on that. Also, quick note, some of the coolest scenes in Game of Thrones Season 1 was between Tyrion and Jon Snow, so I really cannot wait for them to interact again because they are such awesome characters who actually got along really well, so that's definitely going to be the highlight of next episode where we actually get to see them talk. Now, if you're up to date with the leaks, which I'm not going to talk about here, but if you are, you have an idea of what Jon might propose to try and prove this to the Lords, so I'd like to hear all your theories about how that might turn out, or what you think's going to happen, and a whole bunch of other stuff, because the season's about to ramp into full gear. We're going to get battle after battle, enemies destroyed, alliances forged, and so much more. So I can't wait for episode 3. So I know this was a short preview, so if you have any questions about the preview, or what's going to happen next episode, or about the review, or about the episode we just got, make sure to put it in the comment section below, because I'm going to be doing a Q&A this week for this episode and the preview for the coming up. So ask your questions in the comment section below, or tweet at me at TWKingMcKay and on Patreon.
Hey!